Let's rock and roll. What's up, everybody? The Four Horsemen is here. This is the way it should be. This is the way it should be. That died you got going on, Wayne? Wayne got his joint all died. Oh, you got that just for men. Okay, play. I see.
That Beijing 50. What's that, 49?
This is hair. This is hair.
Okay.
Beijing Jack.
Okay, I see it. Listen, I got an official announcement. I think I'm retiring. I'm retiring from sports, man. My body is down and sore. I had a game. I took Tim to the well a couple times. I played on the gym on Friday. Tim will tell you I did my thing. What's good, Star Screen? I did my thing. I mean, I'm still nice, but the after effects linger too long. I could barely walk. My feet hurt. My hamstrings hurt. I'm done. I'm done. So I'm this is my official retirement speech. I would like to thank everybody who I schooled, everybody who was involved in my whole career.
That's basically like Kendrick Perkins coming out today and saying he retires.
No. Listen, no. I haven't officially retired. My career has been on the downward spiral, not downward spiral, but on the down end of my career. I was really a football player. That was my claim to fame. But I was.
All right, can we get the real news now?
Listen, I'm not done yet. I was still
jokes on you. Yeah, jokes on us. You retired. Don't nobody care about that.
Charlie M, you care, don't you? Yes.
Congratulations on your retirement.
That's his way of telling y'all he ain't got it. That he went out there and some young boys beat him down on the court, and now you know he got to toss it in.
You know what happened? You know what actually really got
me? Hold on, it's an echo.
Echo. I don't hear it though.
I hear it a little bit. I hear it. I think it's you.
That's you. Every time you talk,
I wasn't talking. You was the only one talking.
Well, Wayne started yelling out. You know how Wayne got that janky.
This is why y'all supposed to have been here on time. We could have did sound check. So now let's do the show, please. They're not here to listen to Ephraim's fake retirement from fake
When have we ever done sound check? Come on, this is a $5 thing we doing here.
Would you do sound check?
Listen to Chuck Gamble. Now you want to do sound checks?
We sure enough we do. Whenever we get here on time, we do. So hold up. So nobody comes and say, "Yo, can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?" Me and Tim do it. I guess that's because y'all usually come in later.
Me and
Tim usually do a sound check. What'd you say?
If you got a cheap mic, you gotta do sound check. You're the only one who do it.
Ain't you the dude who computer blinks out like every other show?
No, I had it on the wrong setting. My settings was wrong.
Yeah, he old. He got the wrong settings. He can't play sports. Yeah.
Yo, some young boys. It was funny. I don't know if it was me. Just real quick story. This is one of the reasons why I'm probably retiring. I was on a one court shooting around and with some other boys playing a 4-on-4. So they was sitting waiting to play their game and talking about who they're going to pick for the next team. And they said, "I'm gonna get y'all old head," and they all started laughing. I know they was talking about me, and I said, "Dang, I said these boys out here clowning me. I'm a joke down on the court. I'm a joke now. I used to be that ball." So now I got retired. Gotta give it up. So back to the real news. You know,
yeah, Lisa, I let my mane grow out a little bit. I might trim it down a little bit though.
He brushing his face.
That's all. He got that Carlos Boozer. Remember Carlos Boozer had a whole head and beard dye job?
Hair, baby.
Hey, y'all just wasted a good 4 minutes. And y'all listen to the pod. Just skip up the first 4 minutes, then y'all be right. Y'all can be.
This entertainment to see Ephraim make a fool out of himself.
James Harden needs to retire. I went back just to give y'all a little tidbit because this we talk about today. We talking about this whole James Harden saga. Actually, if you're a Sixers fan, it's the biggest thing right now because we're trying to figure out what in the world we going to do with Harden, Joel Embiid, Maxey, the whole kit and caboodle, right? So I went back and I watched the pod from almost 2 years ago when we first acquired Harden. And you know what I said from the very outset? I said I was happy we got Harden, but we gave up too much. That's what I said. I said, I fear we gave up too much. And guess who argued tooth and nail against me? Wayne.
So what did we give up? So what did we give up that was too much?
We gave up assets. We gave up Seth.
What the draft pick that was so bad that the Nets didn't even want to exercise it this year. That they bumped it back.
It don't matter. It's still an asset. This is you doing it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's an
asset. because my thing is, if you're going for a player that you like,
we didn't have a first round pick this year. How did he bump it back?
Huh? No, we did. It was last year's, and they bumped it to this year. They bumped it to whatever. Remember last year?
And they took it this year.
Who they draft?
It don't matter who they draft.
Shut up, then. Okay, you're gonna say they gave up an asset. You don't even know who they got for it.
It was an asset. It's an asset we couldn't use to facilitate.
And they used that asset to bring in a player that they thought was going to help put them over the top, and James Harden. So if it's a player that you wanted, then would you have a problem if they did that for Dame?
No, because Dame was younger. It was a bad trade. How much younger is Dame? Listen, the reason why it was a bad trade because there was other trades, viable, realistic trades where we acquired assets instead of giving them all away. This is why it's egg on your face, because it was a strong chance that James Harden wouldn't even be here after the deal. And now
it's not egg on my face. That's a part of basketball.
No, I'm not talking basketball, I'm talking about egg on the Sixers, on Morey's face, because he did a bad deal and now it's coming back to haunt him.
And I'm gonna tell you now, Harden's not gone yet. How about that?
Oh, Harden will be gone.
All right, they found him 100K.
Okay.
Did they find Harden 100K?
Okay, what y'all think about that?
He below 100K at the strip joint. It don't matter. That's nothing. That ain't nothing to him.
So, Mr. Wing,
but Harden is going to show up to camp, because if he doesn't show up to camp, then that means the Sixers own the rights to him even next year. He can't be a free agent or anything unless the Sixers say he can. So he has to show up to camp.
He can't miss 30 days. He can come in. He can come in one day and leave again.
Okay, but he's going to have to. So you think that he's going to sit there? They're going to do the same thing they did with Ben if they don't get the trades that they want.
What he did in New Jersey, he'll pout. He won't do nothing. He'll fake like
that's fine. And guess what? And guess what he's going to do? And you know the difference? In Jersey, he had guaranteed money. He don't have guaranteed money now, because if he does that, who's going to pay him now? If he's pouting for a big contract, who's giving him a big contract?
He's not a rational thinker. He don't think like that. He just wants to.
Okay. You think it don't make a difference if you are fully signed with guaranteed money, as opposed to if he felt that way, then he wouldn't have tried to exercising his player's option. He want that money. He want that money.
That's it.
When I'm hearing the Saudi team, they offer him hundreds of millions of dollars to come play over there. I mean, if he really wants to, he'll sit there and go play for them.
Okay. You think he really gonna go over there? He might.
Why not?
Because it ain't the same. He wants a ring, evidently. That's why he wants to go to the Clippers. He wants to go to a team where he could win an NBA title. He could play all those games he wants. He wants to play in the NBA, or it wouldn't even be an issue with him. He would say, just trade me somewhere. I don't care. Trade me where I can get my money.
First of all, these Saudis are getting out of control how much money they're throwing around the people.
They are.
This is kind of ridiculous. These boys got money on top of money. But the fact of the matter is...
Ethan, fix it. Go ahead.
That is Ephraim.
It is me now. That's Wayne again. He messed with my sentence. There you go. Let me see here.
I think say something.
Hello.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
All right. I had my settings on automatic adjust. I think that was throwing it off. Starscream said they said today that Harden made the 6th most contract money in NBA history. Woo! Harden.
Yeah.
Harden secure. I mean, and Harden got a Tim. How much was that Adidas deal? $200 million. $200
million for 13 years.
I mean, so Harden good. Harden is financially.
Right, he's good, but that's what I'm saying. He's really good on the money. He wants an NBA title. That's why, for real, if you think that's really his, like Tim said, he could go over there. If it was just about money, he can go somewhere else and get money.
Ronell was
Jariz Live says this is how bad Tobias is. We were able to trade Al Horford $100 million and add a player that can't even shoot before Tobias. Tragic.
That's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't think they really want to trade Tobias. The crazy part is I don't think they want to trade him.
You don't think they want to? Who? The Clippers?
I don't think the Sixers wanted to trade Tobias.
They was trying.
He's still here. Tobias. Did we trade Tobias? Did I miss something?
No, he's saying this is how bad Tobias is. Talking about that we couldn't trade Tobias. I'm saying I don't think that the Sixers really tried to trade Tobias.
Oh. I think Daryl Morey ain't as bright as y'all make him out to be.
Man, Ethan told y'all this a long time ago.
I'm not making him out to be bright.
Daryl Morey's claim to fame is signing James Harden. He pulling the wool over everybody's eyes.
Tim and Wayne was adamant about how Daryl Morey was going to get the max deal for Ben Simmons when the max deal was on the table, and he passed it probably about 4 to 5.
Now you're doing the false narratives. What Tim and Wayne was adamant about was we wasn't ready to just give Ben Simmons up for anything, and we wanted Morey to try to get the most that he could get out of it. Y'all wanted to get rid of Ben Simmons in the beginning for basketball and a pair of and1s and baller brand sneaks. That's what y'all was trying to get rid of him for. And when we was sitting there saying there is some value to Ben Simmons, y'all kept saying he don't got no value. He killed his value every day. That's what y'all was arguing. Yeah. And me and Tim was saying I'd rather wait to see if we can get the best that we could get out of it.
No, we never said. See, let's stop this false narrative right now. We never said give him away for nothing. We said the deals that are there are great deals, and the best you probably can get, make the deal. Y'all kept. Tim was adamant about getting Dame. You was adamant about getting Harden, just like Morey was. And when they got Harden, the first thing I said was, why would you give up all you gave up for Harden when you were asking for a king's ransom from every other team? I didn't understand that. They was asking, apparently, this is what the reports are saying. They was asking for De'Aaron Fox and Haliburton from Sacramento, and Sacramento was trying to offer him.
They wasn't asking for both of them.
Harrison, and like two first-round draft picks. Apparently, with Sacramento offering them back. Haliburton, Harrison Barnes, and 2 first-round picks.
So who told you that? What's your source?
The source that was online.
Only reason why I asked you what's your source, because all this stuff is based off rumors. All these trade talks be based off rumors. That's like we see all kind of rumors now. Joel Embiid going to the Knicks. Joel Embiid. I see these rumors pop up every day.
Listen, Wayne, stop.
So you don't see rumors pop up every day? Tim posts half of them.
Come on, he just knew he was going to Philadelphia.
Yep, and guess what?
He called the Bull up. He called broke down minivan up and was like, "Yo, I'm coming over there with Philly," and he was like, "No, I ain't hearing nothing."
You know what? You know who else thought they was going somewhere? Remember when Tyrese Maxey was almost crying because he thought they was sending him off the trade for Harden? Remember that when Maxey came in?
It was
because he heard rumors, but they did. But this is what I'm saying.
They notified his agent.
They didn't tell his agent.
The deal was done.
So did they tell Haliburton agent, or he just thought because he was hearing rumors?
All right, okay.
So we're talking about that Harden trade.
I know, I hear what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, how do we know? Just because Haliburton says he just knew that he was about to be there, don't mean that the Sixers trade was on the table.
Okay, Wayne. Okay. Listen, let's do some with logical thinking. Did the Kings trade Haliburton?
That's what I just said. They did. That's not like the Kings didn't trade.
Okay, so the Kings
did they trade, and who did they trade Haliburton for?
Okay, I'm not finished. Did the Sixers trade Ben Simmons?
Yes.
Yep. So obviously they were shopping. Sixers were shopping Ben. They were shopping Haliburton. It's not outside the realm of reality to believe that they actually was offered Haliburton and possibly some other players in this trade for Ben. Because y'all told me, keep in mind, don't let me finish. Y'all told me that Ben Simmons was an all-star, that Ben Simmons garnered so much value, which at the time, and I agree, I said his value is high. To me, he's not that valuable of a player, but he's huge.
It doesn't matter how you feel.
Exactly.
It's the value of that player.
Let me ask you this: if you're Sacramento,
value is that high, plain and simple.
If you're Sacramento, why are you trading? You're trading Haliburton because you have De'Aaron Fox as your point guard. So why would you bring in a Ben Simmons? What he gonna play, two guard?
Do it all. Haliburton
was he gonna play two guard?
De'Aaron Fox is not your point guard.
De'Aaron Fox is not your point guard.
Haliburton was your point guard.
No, Haliburton was coming off the bench. De'Aaron Fox was starting.
Haliburton was your point guard. That's why they
he was not. De'Aaron Fox has always been their point guard.
First of all, Ben Simmons is looked at as a point forward. Possibly he could be a point forward. Ben Simmons could play all 5 positions. He can't defend all 5, like y'all say.
But I'm not arguing that Haliburton is a point. De'Aaron Fox was the point in Sacramento. He's always been the point in Sacramento.
Ben Simmons can play all 5 positions. This is what y'all told me. This is why his value is so high. So why wouldn't you trade for Ben Simmons? Any team, if Ben Simmons was who we thought he was, he would fit on almost any roster in the NBA. Almost any roster fit on.
But instead, they chose to go and trade for a big man because they had no quality big man. So they went and got Sabonis and helped them to be the number 2 seed.
Ben Simmons was a big Ben Simmons wouldn't have
been doing what Sabonis did for them.
You realize Ben Simmons and Sabonis is like the same height?
Don't matter. Sabonis is a bona fide center.
And Sabonis got 8 in the live by Golden State by Draymond Green.
Did.
He got 8 alive by Draymond Green. So
at least he was on the court.
Listen,
Ben Simmons wasn't even played.
My point is that was a real deal. You keep trying to say it wasn't. I'm sure that where there's smoke, there's fire, and you heard it a number of times that Sacramento was in talks with Sixers. So it was some type of real deal that Morey shot down, and we ended up with James Harden because Morey didn't want nobody else. And that's what I keep saying. He wanted Harden. His eyes, he had Harden beard goggles. He was focused on Harden the whole time. He got who he wanted, and he gave up a king's, not a king's ransom, but he gave up way too much for Harden. The Harden and Ben deal should have almost been an even swap. For real rap. It should have been an even swap,
that point,
maybe a second round pick.
Huh? At that point, there's no way you do an even swap for them.
Why not?
Because Harden was actually still playing well, even when he was flopping and all that other stuff. His numbers were still solid. And Ben Simmons wasn't playing at all. And the last time Ben Simmons played, he choked and so bad that he said he got mental disorder that he missed like 2 seasons.
And the last time Harden played, he was letting basketballs roll right past him into the backcourt and getting stripped and boys making layups.
All right, but he averaged 20 and 10 in the regular season.
Remember? And Ben Simmons has how many years on Harden? About 12 years left more than Harden to play. So it was it should have been an even swap for Ben for Harden. That's what it should have been. But Morey got gassed up and got capped up, and the Nets saw him coming all day long. His eyes was this wide. He had eyes the size of a stinking tennis balls. They saw him coming, and they got us. It's as simple as that. They got us. So now we back. We set back for assets. We got Harden, and now Harden want to leave. So Morey's really looking dumb. And now he's really going to try to get the max and trade for Harden, because if he don't, he looks even dumber than he did getting Harden. And that's why we're in a very, very messed up situation.
They're going to trade him before the deadline.
But then what? How many teams win after you trade for a player after the deadline? That's you need them in the regular season. Whoever you're trading for, you need them to start the regular season. You need them in training camp so you can get that whole season of playing with one another.
They both got to go start screen. I agree.
Those deadline transactions don't.
Harden and Morey, they both got to go.
At least not for the Sixers.
Yeah, if the Sixers doing a whole rebuild, I don't trust Morey to rebuild them.
You don't have experience with rebuilding.
Yeah, but I mean, and this is the other thing. All right, so do y'all think the Sixers are actively looking to trade Embiid?
I don't think they should. I wouldn't do that.
I think they might be. But because Embiid is putting stuff out there. Embiid is throwing what they call like little breadcrumbs out there.
Cryptic messages.
Yeah, that's it. Embiid is throwing out cryptic messages. Like
Embiid always do that stuff.
He do, but
this ain't the time to do it. You didn't show up in the playoffs, and now you want to all of a sudden be all cryptic and you want to be passive aggressive. First of all, say it with your chest. If you want out, just say, "Yo, I want out."
I don't think he wants out.
But I think he passively went out.
I don't think you should trade him though.
I mean, hey, for everybody that wants him out, I hope y'all get what y'all want. And I'm not. Maxey hasn't shown me to be a superstar yet. He shows some signs. He definitely shows some signs, and he's still young. But that being said, so if you're going to rebuild, if you get rid of Embiid, so you rebuilding around Maxey and Paul Reed. That's going to be your building blocks. And this is what y'all want.
But
I didn't say.
I ain't saying you. I'm saying people in the comments that saying trade them both.
To get back in return for Joel Embiid, though.
Yeah.
So who you trust in the draft?
You think we're gonna get pennies on the dollar for Joel Embiid?
Oh, I don't know.
I do agree.
But who's drafting?
William, unless he asked for one.
For the most part, you're not going to trade Embiid to a bum team who's going to have the assets. Embiid's not going to co-sign on going to a team where he's just going to sit there. Only person that wanted to go to a team that wasn't a contender was Ben Simmons. Nobody else wants to get traded to a team that's not a contender. Everybody else wants to, when you're later in you well established in your career, you want to go to somebody where you got a chance at least to win. If whoever they trade Embiid to, if you trade them to a team that wants to win right now, for the most part, they don't got no assets.
Would you trade right now? You don't want to go to the Knicks or want to go to Miami. That's his desired spot.
Would you trade Joel Embiid for John Morant?
No.
Yeah. Yep.
He'll sell tickets. Definitely sell tickets.
Joe sell tickets.
He won't. Ja sell more.
Oh yeah.
How you figure that?
Joe is not as big a superstar as John Morant. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't agree with that.
I think they're on the same level. I think
you think so?
No,
Ja actually messed his superstardom up with the whole.
I agree with that. I agree with that. He took a step back with the gun stuff,
but he was definitely on his rise to pass Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid he's a Philly.
But is he pat? You said he was on the rise to pass. Is he past Joel Embiid?
Joel Embiid is a Philly superstar. Talk about as far as superstar or play.
Yeah, I'm both.
You said John would be a gangster in Memphis. What you think he gonna act like in Philly?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Listen, Joel Embiid.
I think he learned his lesson. Leave that young man alone.
I don't think Joel Embiid the type of star where he go to other arenas and he could sell out other arenas. John Morant is that type of star.
Exactly.
I can agree with that. I can agree. He's a player you would come to see. The athleticism.
Yeah, like AI. When AI go to different arenas, they come to see AI. Joe,
I could kind of agree with that. I feel that a little bit, but I do agree with Tim. I think he want to go somewhere like the Knicks or Miami. Now at that point, can you pull off a 3-team trade with Miami? Tim's grand trade was to get Bam out of Bayou and Dame Lillard in here, send Embiid to play with his boy Jimmy Butler in Miami, and have a 3-team trade with Bede and whatever other pieces you got to throw in there. Get Damon out of Bayou in here. What you all think about that?
Yeah, we'll be a first round exit instead of the second.
Hold up. So Dame and Bam will be out the first round? Nah, no.
This just like when Dame, it was Dame, Nurkic, and what's his name?
So how y'all think Dame handling his trade request?
Is it official? Did he come out and officially say Dame is all over the place?
He want to get traded to Miami. He's stuck on Miami. I see Dame. See, that's what I'm saying. Dame don't know his camp. Nobody over there knows what they're doing. His best time to get the trade was when Harden was getting traded. He should have got out. He played too long with this Portland thing.
Yeah,
and he really set himself back. Who knows if he's gonna get if he is even gonna get traded now at the rate they going. Miami don't have enough.
Oh no, they going. I think they're gonna trade him though.
Miami don't have enough with what Portland want. They gotta get another team involved.
Portland drafted that young. Didn't they draft a point guard to be their future?
Dame acting like a professional now because the letter went out. Because Dame and his agent was acting like fools. Remember they were saying Dame won't play for nobody else. He only play for Miami. Yeah, then they got checked by the NBA.
A lot of that was Miami too. Miami remember they bullied us into trading Jimmy Butler for I forget the young boy that
Richardson.
Yeah.
I mean, Pat Riley
telling us like he was Baby Jordan.
Yeah, Pat Riley bullied the Sixers into an awful sign and trade deal for Jimmy Butler. First of all, Jimmy would not have signed outright with Miami without being a sign and trade. So we took garbage. We should have never made that trade for Jimmy at all. Dare him to sign on his own. He wouldn't have made no money in Miami. He wouldn't have did it.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed with Dame because Dame was what they say, loyal to the soil for like 2 years, and then all of a sudden, like all that changed when he really wanted to kind of leave in the first place, but he was trying to play that role because how my TV come on. He was trying to play that role. Hold on, let me I gotta turn some background noise off.
I told y'all what Dame was trying to do from the beginning. I told y'all we was talking about how Dame wanted to leave. Dame wanted to leave. Dame just didn't want to be seen as the dude that was chasing the ring because he talked so greasy about other people. That's why I said way back then, I said Dame is hoping Portland gives him the out by offering to trade him somewhere. That's what Dame was waiting for. He just didn't want because he talked too much trash about Kevin Durant.
He did get that bag too, like the Starscream said. Did his Dame they gave that like 2 year? They gave him that bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that could have been it. I mean, that could have been it until now he got the bag. Now he want to be out. I can't be mad at that. If that was the hand you played, I'm not mad at that. But at the same time, I guess it may come at a cost to you because if you don't get to the team that he want to get to, he may never win the championship. So you got the bag, but you might not get the chip. Because I do think if he'd have came here, was able to get Dame instead of Harden, I think we would have been.
We would have won a championship. We don't have that number one player, that killer, and that you got that in Dame.
This year was the year. Too. We could have did it.
What chip Dame won?
It's not about that. It's that.
What chip Harden won?
Dame and Harden probably got about as far as each other did in playoffs. I'm just saying. You said to say Dame is.
I'm just fighting like that. Like
I'm just saying if he's saying he's making like Dame is that much of a different person than Harden, they're pretty much on that same level.
He is. Like you have Embiid as your star. He's a star on the team. We're not going to discount what Embiid does, but in the playoffs, you need that dog. You need that type of player that's going to just like that Kawhi type player. Those type players, you need them, and we don't have that on our roster. Harden, we saw that he's a complete and utter fraud, where Jimmy Butler is not. But we had another chance to get somebody like that, and Dame would have took us and put us over the top. That's what you need in the playoffs.
I do. I think they would have complemented each other well. I think it could have been a give and take. I think it could have been like a Kevin Durant, Steph Curry thing. Like most people don't realize that KD never led the team in scoring in the regular season with Golden State. It was at 1 year they was tied. They had the exact amount of points. Then another year, Curry's I think scored more, like beating by like a point, and then another year was by like a point or something like that. So my point to say that is I think Dame and B could have coexisted like that. I don't think nobody necessarily would have to take a back seat to nobody.
Oh, somebody got to take a back seat.
That'd have been Dame's team.
Yeah,
I don't think it because they in different universes. B in the middle.
Robin, he like get in, B, get in. Nice shotgun.
So you think that's what Doc. That's what Doc. So even though Doc didn't do that for Harden, Doc was going to do that to Dame until Dame come. Embiid was the Sixers. Embiid is the Sixers until
Harden
now.
Ain't got that alpha dog in him.
Dame is better than Harden.
Dame and Harden the same.
No. Do you understand Harden is a complete and utter failure when it comes to playoffs? Like,
well, you think?
What is Dame?
You watch Harden self-destruct.
I know, and I've seen Dame do it too. That's what I'm saying. They're both great players that have come up small.
You ain't seen Dame self-destruct. You seen Dame get double teamed.
I seen Dame get carried by CJ McCollum, and everybody was hyped. Yes, I did, and I showed you the stats from that.
I know. You ain't had to show me the stats. I saw the game. I saw they ran a double team and trapped Dame every time and got the ball out of his hands, and he didn't really know how to respond. That was young. That was like
why was his shooting?
That was like 6 years ago. First of all. Second of all, Harden didn't.
And what he been doing since then?
Harden did not face a double team against Boston. Harden stunk. It was nobody coming out putting an extra defense on Harden. Harden flat out stunk with Joel Embiid on the court. Dame Lillard. That would not. I'm going on record to say that would not have happened to Dame Lillard against Boston in the playoffs. I promise you that.
I don't know that for Dame the same dude girling now. Dame all over the place. They both a little soft mentally.
Dame game is certified. Harden try to go fouls and throw the little floater up every time. That's Harden game and do a step back three. If that ain't working, he don't got nothing in the bag.
Which one of them average better stats?
Dame Lillard.
Does he?
Yeah, his field goal percentage is better. Pull it up.
Is his assists better? Is his rebounds better? Are you sure his shooting percentage is better?
It don't matter. Come on, man. Harden's terrible. It don't matter. Anything you tell me about regular season Harden, I don't care. Him and Embiid are on the same level. If it's not playoffs, it don't matter.
I get that, but you're talking like Dame Lillard had this majestic run that he took somebody to the finals.
He did. He went to the Western Conference Finals with less talent than Harden played with.
Nah, well, for the record, Harden team had Golden State on the ropes until the other talent he had on the team got hurt.
MVP of the league on his team.
Until the better talent that he had on his team got hurt.
Harden had the MVP of the league on his team.
Okay.
Say that again. Say that again.
That's your man's.
Hey, listen. I'm not making excuses, but Dame is y'all hyping Dame up. Where has Dame done all this? Where's Dame done all this great stuff? I seen Dame get smacked by New Orleans in the first round when they was the favorite. He got handled. Drew cuffed him. So everybody that had bad series.
That was
and
a
stuff
double
like
team.
That.
That was a double team.
That was no daggone double team. Drew said, "Clank."
No, that was a double team. I watched this. I watched the series. I always like.
I watched it too. I know it. I watched it.
Going off of stats. You don't remember what happened. I showed you. I told you what happened. They was doubling Dame the whole series.
To keep it a bean. To keep it a bean, I don't care. I just want my team to win. I don't care. I don't care what trades. I don't care if somebody the same way I was hating on Jalen Hurts. Once he showed he could ball, I'm all with it. Let the young bull get paid. Let the young bull lead us to another chip. I'm fine with that. I want my team to win, but I don't get all emotional and irrational when something happens. He's better than him. Like y'all do that grass is greener.
No, he is better than him. No, I've been told you Dame was better than Harden. This ain't no new revelation. All right, I've been said Dame was better than Harden. I wish we'd have got Dame. He was younger than Harden. He's more athletic than Harden. He shoots better than Harden. He's more clutch than Harden. I wish we had Dame over Harden. Point blank.
Look at their stats when they played against each other too. When you're looking at his stats,
Harden shot 44%. Harden averaged 21 points a game, shot 44%. Dame, this is last year. Dame averaged 32, shot 46%, averaging 32 points a game. He'd have came in here. We'd have went to the championship.
No, he would. So you think he would have been shooting that much? He wouldn't have been passed. And didn't Harden lead the league in assists because he was throwing the ball to the big man too?
Him and Embiid would have both averaged 30.
So Dame at the point
aren't that much when Embiid is young bull.
What'd you say?
Joel Embiid is Dame young bull.
Oh, but my thing is, then Dame is not going to be paid. That was Harden's issue with Doc because he said Doc wanted him to be more of a facilitator instead of letting him cook when he wanted to cook. So Doc wanted him to be more. So what I'm saying is,
Dame or Harden, put that poll up.
Doc wanted him to be a better facilitator. What make you think that he was going to come in here and tell Dame, you go crazy?
Put it up right now, man, in the chair.
Put it up and watch how wrong Wayne look. Wayne, everybody turn the comment section. You on your own on this one. Nobody is taking.
I don't care. If you look at career-wise, Harden's had a better career than Dame Lillard, or at least the same.
You're not talking about career. We talk about now. Now Dame is better for the past 3-4 years. Dame been better.
No, he wasn't. He hasn't been better for the past 3-4 years.
He's got to leave soon. But what do y'all think about Doc being a snake? You gonna talk about Doc being a snake?
I don't see him being a snake. I just see him.
Set the scene, Tim. Set the scene.
Thank you for doing. He can do a good recap. Go ahead.
Oh, all right. So what happened was Doc Rivers was coaching for the Clippers, and Tyronn Lue just lost the LA Lakers job. So he was a free agent coach looking to go somewhere. Apparently, they said Doc Rivers told. This is Gilbert Arenas telling the story, by the way. I love Gilbert Arenas stories. Them joints be funny. He said Doc told Tyronn Lue, go get the Philly job. He put a good word in for him. Yo, that's your man. He good. Boop, boop, boop. Go sign that deal. Somewhere around this time, Doc gets fired or hears the tricklings that he about to get fired from the Clippers because another game 7. Paul George is coming out. You hear whispers of Paul George saying Doc know how to adjust, so forth and so on. So as soon as Doc says I'm out, or they say Doc you out, he calls up the Sixers. Yeah, give me that job now. I'm gonna take that job from Tyronn Lue. So apparently he, the way Gilbert is wording it, he backdoored his homie, even though he told him go get the job. He swept up underneath him since he got more clout, more experience, more tenure in the league. He took the job and left Tyronn Lue on the outs, and then Tyronn Lue had to get the Clipper job. So do y'all think it was him being shiesty, putting a knife in his back, or do y'all think him and see Tim's thought process is they worked out a deal? Him and Tyronn Lue said, well, all right, I'm going to leave. You're going to go to the Sixers and I'm going to the Clippers. I don't think it worked like that. I think Doc shiesty the bull, landed here, and that's why nothing good happened for Doc while he was here.
Doc backdoored him. I think Doc backdoored him.
I completely disagree. The reason being is I saw Tyronn Lue on a podcast, and he was talking about, he was kind of hating on James Harden about getting Doc fired. So him and Doc still has a cordial relationship. The fact that he hated on him let me know that they still have a good relationship. With me, what I'm thinking, what I believe is, why one of us got to be out of a job when there's 2 jobs available? I'll take the one that you was there for. You're already here with me. This is what Doc did, by the way. Tyronn Lue was going to get that Lakers job. He didn't get the Lakers job. Doc brought him in here for the Clippers job. He became one of his head assistants. So it's not like he was dirty. He did him dirty. He was on his roster, on that bench with him. That's his man's. So he said, listen, you stay here. You got your home here. You got your family here. You stay here. I'll take that Sixers job. That way we both are still working. Why he got to sit there, take the Philly job? He got to uproot himself, go to Philadelphia when he's already with that bench and already got a rapport with that team.
That's possible.
Philly was the better fit for us. Tyronn Lue was
I'm not saying that. I agree with you on that one. I'm talking about Doc and Tyronn Lue in their situation.
I could buy a little bit of that. I could buy a little bit of that. I mean, it does mean a lot if he's still caping for Doc a little bit. That says a little something to me.
You got to post that interview.
Yeah, you might have to post that because I didn't see that neither. But it also means that Tyronn Lue could be smart because there's still a lot of politics. Hey, Mark, you do got to understand certain coaches carry a certain amount of weight and tenure to them. I don't know. I'm not saying Doc got no San Antonio level, no Popovich type clout, but Doc got some clout. He got some clout around the league.
He do.
He think he do, but Doc got some clout around the league. So if he wanted to push the button and make the call, I think he could. I think
after the way it ended in the Clippers and Philly, he on the downslide of his clout.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, he has too many series that he blew those leads. Right now, it's like he did it for like what 4 different franchises. He blew leads, series leads with.
It was 3 franchises, and I keep going over this. I keep saying it to you. I don't know why it's not getting clear. It's not clear to y'all. He was an underdog. That's that Orlando team. They were the AC. They weren't even supposed to be there. The better team just finally
was he an underdog with the Clippers?
What about the Sixers?
All right, can we discuss the Clippers? Y'all can completely ignore Paul George having a complete meltdown game 7.
He blamed Doc.
Why? He needs to blame his doctor.
Hold on. Is there any excuse? Hold on. Paul George had a meltdown with Doc. Ben Simmons had a meltdown with Doc. So who's the common denominator?
James Harden had a meltdown with Doc.
James Harden had a meltdown with Doc. Who's the common denominator?
You got a bunch of weak bulls that can't be around a real man that's just trying to get them to the next level. Paul George.
See, but listen, I'm not by all this. All right, first let's address Tim's first point. All this, they was up 3-1 and they shouldn't have been up. I don't care about all that. You was up for whatever you did. You was up. All right, you up 3-1 and you lose the lead in the game 7. Somebody tried to make the same argument when I came to the revelation. I never knew this. I don't know where I must have been under a rock that Kobe lost a 3-1 lead to Phoenix Suns back in I can't even remember when it was, like 2008 or something like that.
I think it was
06. Something like 06 or something like that. They was up 3-1 to Phoenix and lost the lead, and Phoenix was the 2nd seed and LA was the 7th seed. And one of the Kobe fans that I know, Kobe Stans, he was arguing that, well, they shouldn't even been up because they was the 7th seed and they was the 2nd seed. That don't matter. All that matters is you was up 3-1. So whatever you did to get up, you couldn't sustain it and you lost. So if Doc is this great coach, if Kobe's this great player, I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying Kobe's not a great player. I'm not saying Doc is not a great coach. But if you lose it, it's still on you. So that's still on Kobe, just like it's still on Doc. That's still on them. So you lost it, it's still on you.
I put more on the players, though. In Game 7, you ride those players that got you there. Let's look at that Game 7 that they lost. I think who were they playing? The Clippers were
Atlanta. The Sixers were playing Atlanta.
No, I'm talking about the Clippers where Paul George had his meltdown. That Game 7, I'm looking at the stats right now. He finished the game.
I'm not even just talking about the Paul George. Didn't they do the same thing with Blake Griffin and CP3?
No, but what you did say was there's 3 teams that he was on that he blew 7 Game 7.
You're right. It just was multiple times on some teams.
Paul George, we look at that game that Paul George, your star, who averaged 24 points in that series, he finished with 10 points. He was a -20. And his shooting percentage, he literally shot 18% in that game. You're not going to win if you shoot 18%. That's what he did. Now, go back.
He said Doc ain't put him in a position to win.
Okay, so
he said Doc made no adjustments.
So Doc put you in a position to win the first round of playoffs where y'all won it in 6 games. Doc put you in a position to go up 3 games to none. But all of a sudden,
no, sometimes you can win just because you got better talent. And then sometimes you run into a coach that can coach the same way Boston coach or rookie coach sit there and threw 2 bigs out there on the floor for Doc in Game 6, and Doc lost his mind and they know what to do.
Doc didn't do nothing.
He lost his mind too and didn't want to go get the ball.
Doc did nothing right in the first round of playoffs, and he didn't do nothing right.
He brought him back in that game
when they won those 3 games or 3 out of 4 games. He did nothing right, but all of a sudden, one of the last 4 games, it was all on Doc. I mean, I just don't buy it. I'm looking at his stats right now. He's stuck
because the last 4 games, the playoffs is about adjustments. Other coaches make adjustments. Doc does not make adjustments. Doc is like, this is our system. We're going to live or die with it. And if they're beating you, if you have better talent, most of the time you can beat them out. We would have beat Atlanta if it wasn't for the colossal meltdown by Ben Simmons. Because we were better than them. We would have still beat them.
And Doc didn't make adjustments when Ben Simmons was melting down. He took too long.
Exactly.
You do realize that wasn't Paul George's first rodeo of having bad playoff performances. You know,
I've also seen Paul George have great playoff performances.
Yeah, but so that means he's been up and down in his career in the playoffs. And he was down in that particular game. He had in 2018, he had a 5-point game in there. Shot another 20%. And when he was at OKC, had a chance to win. I'm looking at his stats right now.
Yep.
So it's not like Paul George was been great all this time, but all of a sudden this one time he messed up. That's Paul George. He's been up and down. He has really great performances. He had bad performances. That night he was bad. This year, same thing with Harden. Harden had 2 great games. That last game he was bad. I'm looking at him and James, him and Embiid. They both were bad that 4th game. You can't blame everything on Doc.
But this is the whole point I make. That's just like Kenny. I'm not saying Doc was the reason why Ben collapsed. Ben was the reason Ben collapsed. But the point that Ethan's making and him and Ephraim made even at the time, as a coach, you have to make some adjustments. Ben Simmons was struggling for like 3 games. He was struggling for like 3 games. And the only reason why he even put Maxey in there to take up a bunch of the minutes at first, one of them times is because Ben Simmons was in foul trouble. Then he came right back in game 7. And I'll give them that because they've argued that point. Ephraim and Ethan. Game 6, Maxey got in there. Maxey got hot. Maxey did some work. Doc came right back in game 7 and put Ben out there to have a colossal failure. And if nothing else, you make a change. I give Brett Brown more props for making an adjustment than him. Because Brett Brown, you know what Brett Brown did when he had that team that should have won the chip that year? Is he took the ball out of Ben Simmons' hand down the stretch and said, Jimmy, you handle the rock down the stretch.
Jimmy took the ball.
That's what Brett said. Jimmy, because Jimmy almost had a problem. No, he didn't. Jimmy even said he felt bad about it because he was like, dang, how y'all going to do? He felt bad that they did Ben like that. That's what Jimmy said. But he did what he had to for the team.
Jimmy wanted the ball because he knew that down the stretch Ben was a little scared, and that's fine. I can't even defend
the coach made that decision, and I don't like Brett, but Brett made that decision. Brett might have made more adjustments than Doc did.
When I'm looking at game 7, all I know is that James Harden stunk it up.
He did.
He was a negative 28.
Listen,
Brett sat Ben Simmons down and put in TJ McConnell for a game and got a win.
It's no coincidence.
Doc would have left him out there with 1 point and still would have ran him back out the next game and told him to keep on jumping.
Doc Rivers was the coach on all those teams, man. That's just He's the you know
what he is. He had 2 flawed players.
He gotta eat that. Now he took another man's job. He took Mark Jackson's job, didn't he?
Backdoor him. You can't take nobody's job.
He backdoor Mark Jackson.
You can't take nobody's job. ESPN. First of all, if anything, I think it was the dog. What's his name?
Shout out to Skip Bayless too.
Oh yeah, Skip. He's a survivor. I'll say that much. He know how to survive.
He got Mike Orban's job too. Mike Orban coming on him too. Then he got Mike Orban.
That's what cockroaches do.
Yeah. Shout out to Skip Bayless because ESPN turned their backs on him, and looks like Stephen A. Smith, that was his home and everything, but he couldn't get him back on the show. But Fox Sports, they went out there and they gave him another chance for a lie that some woman just told on him, completely lied on him, and then he back on television talking sports. So even though I think he is a leech and a vulture culture, I still got to give a culture vulture. I'm sorry, I still got to give props to Skip Bayless.
Yeah, shout out, Big Skip.
And
keeping the men working, keeping the fellas working, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how Skip got all.
Oh, hold up. Round and third just said Doc was up 3-2 against the Big 3 Heat and lost that series too.
Big 3.
Yeah, but they was up 3-2.
Doc should have had 2 chips with Boston, but that's another story.
That Boston team milked that championship more than anybody ever milked championship.
That Boston team, though, when they got together, they were older. They were older at the time. They weren't in their prime. It wasn't like I watched the interview with Paul Pierce, and actually, I don't know if y'all want to really quickly discuss with Paul Pierce. He compared it. Everybody been doing that comparison, Paul Pierce versus D Wade, and the more I heard from Paul Pierce, the more I'm convinced that I would take Paul Pierce over D Wade if everything was even.
I'm not.
Why not?
I'm not either.
Because I think D Wade is a better player. Was a better player.
Why?
I've seen D Wade was.
I'm gonna tell you why. D Wade was a better leader. I seen D Wade against that Miami when he was in Miami and he was going against Dallas and Dirk and all them when he was a young boy. I seen that. I seen Paul Pierce play and have nice games until he got joined up with the other stars. And he still wasn't. Kevin Garnett was like the leader on that team.
I'm gonna say the same thing with Paul Pierce here. Paul says that if you put him on a squad with LeBron James no,
we're not talking about putting him on the squad with LeBron.
Let him switch places with D Wade. Put him on the same squad with Bosh and
okay.
Ryan.
And then after that,
they won 2 championships.
And then after that, go and put him on that team when D Wade carried them to the finals victory when he went crazy and they came back from like a 3-2.
Okay, put Paul Pierce with Shaquille.
But Shaq was old, man. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
And you know why you can't say because Shaq got in foul trouble and he had to have Morey coming in and play center for a little while. He's trying to say is Paul Pierce over D Wade.
I think they're equal.
But he's trying to say take Paul Pierce and put him in D Wade's spot.
You would get the same outcomes.
I don't think you get that same outcome if you put him on that first chip that D Wade won.
I do.
Paul Pierce ain't doing that.
No disrespect to D Wade, even though I question a lot of things he do personally. No disrespect to
I think personally, I think if I was to give a slight edge, I would probably give a slight edge to D Wade. D Wade, and the reason why because D Wade defense was crazy. D Wade actually was one of the, if I'm not mistaken, I think he led the league in blocks as a guard. Like not led the league in blocks, but as a guard in the guard position, he was the highest blocking guard in the league, and he always had a lot of steals.
Tim found one person to say Paul Pierce and highlighted.
But Paul Pierce was nice though. I mean, I think they on the same level. Like if you was ranking tiers of players, they're on the same tier. I think they on the same in my opinion, I think D Wade is over him just because, like I said, in that finals run, D Wade took over. D Wade took over, like they said, Shaq was averaging like 12 points a game in that year. D Wade single-handedly. I ain't gonna say because you still need a team, but D Wade took over. He finally said, "Get out of my way, big fella. I got this." And D Wade is the reason why they won that finals. So I don't see. Only thing Paul Pierce did that was great in the finals was fake like he was crippled and then come running back out at the half. That's what he did. He did the dramatics.
First of all, Paul Pierce was an older player. You talk about Paul Pierce in his prime. I seen him play the Sixers. We never beat.
So in his prime, what did he do in his prime? Nothing.
In the playoffs, the Sixers couldn't even compete with Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce always.
You talking about that one when him and Antoine Walker might have had more points than he did in that series?
Nah, I mean he may have, but as far as time performances, Game 7 closeout games, I'm taking Paul Pierce every day. Paul Pierce
tripping. I'm taking D Wade. I'm taking Wade.
And in Game 7,
I'm taking Wade.
And in Game 7, I'm taking Paul Pierce. And
Paul Pierce is a hooper, yo. He's a big time.
Oh, he definitely is.
He's a hooper. I think people saying Wade was way better. I think that's doing a little bit more discredit to Paul Pierce and who he was as a player. But Wade, because sometimes Paul Pierce always had a nice wingman like Antoine Walker, somebody he didn't have to like. He even averaged in his best years, he averaged 25, 26 points a game. I think he could have averaged more, but he always had other players around him that would kind of take up some of the slack, so he ain't need the gun like that. But Paul was a bucket. Paul was a bucket, bro.
I think they look at how athletic Wade was too.
I agree.
Paul Pierce wasn't as athletic as the Wayne Wade.
I agree.
All the crazy stuff.
I mean, I agree with you. That's why they call him Flash. I mean, that's what people look at and be like, okay, he was this great dynamic player. But if you compare both, I'm taking Paul Pierce. No disrespect to D Wade because I like D Wade. I've been so.
I don't think Paul is a top 10 player. You think D Wade's a top 10 player? Is D Wade top 10 all time?
No.
Somebody said, was he ever a top 10 player during his career?
Top 10
player, top 10 two guard
in the league.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Paul Pierce. Yeah.
I thought you said D Wade.
I think he's asking about Starscream. Was asking about Paul Pierce. No, I thought he was saying was Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce ever top 10 player? I don't know about that one.
Yeah, Paul Pierce is top 10 player.
I don't know about that one.
Who's your top 10 around the time he was playing? You got to go back and look at the stats. I remember Paul Pierce hooping.
Kobe, Garnett, his partner,
AI,
Shaq, AI. Who was around? Melo. Who else was playing? Duncan.
Melo. You taking? I'm not sure if I take Melo over Paul Pierce.
I'm just saying at the time they was playing on the prime of their careers, top 10 was Melo. Melo was over Paul Pierce as far as a top 10 player in the league.
I mean, that's what you're saying, but
you don't think so?
I'm not necessarily agreeing with that. Paul Pierce was a huge time shot. Melo made shots and stuff, but Melo never came through in the clutch, in my opinion. I'm not going to say never. Rarely came through in the clutch. Paul was a bucket in big time moments. Paul was huge.
He was. I think he might have the most game winners. Tell you the truth, as far as regular season.
I'm looking at the 2005 Eastern Conference All-Star team, and the starters was Iverson, LeBron, Shaq, Vince Carter, and Grant Hill. Coming off the bench was D. Wade, Jermaine O'Neal, Paul Pierce, Gilbert Arenas.
2005. What about 2002, 2003 when Paul was averaging 25 points a game? Who's the best players then?
You said in what year?
2002, 2003.
You still had AI because 2001 we went to the finals.
Oh yeah, Bubba Chuck was there. Vince Carter.
Paul Pierce was never better than AI while they was in.
I'm talking about who was better. That's what I'm talking about. Who was better? Was Wade better back then?
No, Wade was still a young puppy.
I don't know. Once Wade elevated that team to that chip, he kind of went to another level. I do want to look and see what them finals, what them stats was like.
Come back with that.
Yeah, we got to come back to that one. That was actually a good discussion.
Yeah. All right.
But I'm taking Wade.
You taking Wade?
I'm taking Wade. And mind you, I like Paul Pierce. I still hate Larry Brown to this day. Because you couldn't tell me we wasn't about to have AI and Paul Pierce. I remember I called my cousin Kev up. I was like, yo, we about to get the ball Paul Pierce. They let him slip. That's back when I used to watch college ball like that. That Kansas team with him and Rafe LaFrance. You know what I'm saying? I used to watch that. They had Roy Williams was their coach, I believe.
Remember, he got a phone call from Roy Williams. No, they both coached Kansas.
And we drafted Larry Hughes. I was like, who the heck is Larry Hughes? I had no idea who that young boy was.
Yeah, and that was probably bad. That was a bad
decision. Yeah, a round in third. I agree. Second year Wade was because that wasn't that his second year when they won the finals. And matter of fact, I don't know if they won the final, but Wade single-handedly took that team. That team was the worst team in the league, and Wade took them to the playoffs the next year, I believe. So I don't think that was the finals year, but I think Wade took them to the worst team in the league, and he came in there and took them to the finals. And then not the finals. He took them to the playoffs, and then they made those trades to bring Shaq in. That second year, and his second year they went to the second round, and they was the worst team in the league and drafted him, and he came in and took them to the second round.
They had Shaquille O'Neal. Stop. They
didn't have Shaq. His second year, they did not have Shaq.
When they went to the finals, they had Shaquille O'Neal, didn't they?
When they went to the finals, but they were the worst team in the league. Miami was the worst team in the league, and they drafted Wade. That next year, they got to the second round of the playoffs.
Well, it don't matter.
I thought Wade should have been. I thought Wade should have been rookie of the year. They kind of did him a disservice because he wasn't starting at first. I think they wasn't starting him at first. They was like trying to limit his minutes or something.
Rookie of the year over LeBron.
Yeah, over LeBron and
over LeBron.
Bro, I'm telling you, if you watch how if they wasn't trying to hold his minutes back, they tried to hold his minutes back early, but he was balling out so strong that they had to play him. They was trying to bring him in slowly.
All right. So these boys, they all disappeared because I wasn't talking about USA basketball, Tyrese Haliburton, but Because Wayne, we already kind of discussed that a little bit, how Tyrese Haliburton in that trade was a suspect. Man, we do.
What I'm tripping about, Mark?
Wayne tripping.
I think Wade. I think Wade is a better player. I think if you ask most NBA people, they say Wade was too. Was Paul Pierce on that team that lost in the USA?
How did we pass on Dirk? We passed on Dirk.
Yes, the same year we had a chance for Dirk or what's his name? Paul Pierce, and we got Larry Hughes.
I think I kind of remember that. Who was the general manager? Billy King?
I think Billy King, I think, wanted Dirk. But remember, Brett Brown was like, you got to play the right way. He would have had Dirk trying to post people up. He would have had Dirk trying to play like what was the big boy they had in Atlanta? Rick Smits. He'd have had Dirk playing like Rick Smits.
He would have had him playing like a young Rick Smits. Thanks, Wade. We know that's what I was saying. You really gonna take D Wade over LeBron in his rookie year? LeBron was a phenom in his first year. Stop.
So was D Wade.
He wasn't LeBron.
LeBron had all the hype.
Yeah, Hughes was 8, Dirk was 9, and Pierce was 10 in that draft. Thanks, Boozilla. All right, y'all. This was fun. We wanted to come on and just chop it up with y'all. We ain't been on like consistently. We will start in September. You know, we all gonna be on here every week after every Eagles game, and then mid-October we'll be in here for every Sixers game. So before we get out of here, hit that like button, like, comment, and subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're gonna catch
round the third, you might be right. I forgot Melo that year.
Oh yeah,
Melo definitely balled that year.
Wayne shout out Bernard McCoy. He said, I hope Maxey pulls a Bud Crawford this upcoming season. Beating Harden ain't them dudes mentally.
Yeah, I hope Maxey do too. I hope Maxey does. He had the talent. You can see the talent there. Maxey just got to develop more move because of his height, especially. Like he got the speed and stuff. He got to add more tricks to his bag. He got to get a little more creative offensively for when they switch certain stuff up on him. But Maxey has potential. Hopefully he takes that next step up.
Watch out for B-Ball Paul. That's what I'm telling y'all right now. Watch out for that bull. He's probably gonna be a most improved player this year. I'm calling it now. Most improved player is gonna go to Paul Reed. Averaging about. He's gonna go to.
I'm curious to see what Paul Reed and Embiid and Maxey do with a real coach.
They had a real coach. They just gonna have a different.
Ooh, Brett Brown.
Okay. All right, y'all. We out. I'm not here for the dog game. Y'all.